Hello everybody, I am the Moleville Mantis. It is 2:19 in the morning. You can kinda see that. I just got home from work, took a shower, and came into my room to find out that there is hundreds of ants inside of my enclosure that is supposed to be for Mary, my mantis. I should have filmed it, but I didn't. But I just went through and looked up a million different ways I could deal with this, and none of them are 100% guaranteed safe for my mantis. She is fine because she is in a cup. She is in a sealed container with a mesh lid that ants cannot actually get into. I had to throw out, so what I started with was grabbing her fly source, and I threw it out in a trash outside and also filled it with DEET, like DEET bug spray. Then I washed my hands, came back in here. Then I used, I have pet safe wipes here, and I used them to wipe down. I tracked when the ants were going back and forth, and I used it to wipe down all of their scent trails and stuff, and hopefully that'll break the cycle. And then I found where they were getting in my room, and my dad is in pest service, so I used a gel trap over there and put that there, and they immediately started eating it, meaning they'll take that back to their nest outside of my house. Now, the option in the container is a few things. Either they will take some of the gels to the container, and they will kill each other. Mary, by the time she's in there, the ants would have been. It's a whole thing because she won't eat ants. She's not going to. She's too big for that, and plus they'd swarm her. Mantises are typically smart enough to figure that out. But it could go a few ways where, like, the colony outside of my house, either way, should get that gel and die. Which, good for me, not good for them. The ones inside of the enclosure, which I'll get some shots of in a second, they might get the gel and die, which shouldn't affect my enclosure negatively because it will break down in the enclosure over time. But I would have to reinstate the population of springtails and isopods that are probably being eaten by the ants right now. That is most likely why the ants are in the enclosure. Mind you, this all happened within 2 days. I saw two sugar ants in my room yesterday, and I had looked through the tank and made sure that it's been a couple days, and now this. So that might work. They might do that. Or because I destroyed the scent trails, hopefully, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow, I'm going to use vinegar and water, and I'm going to put it in the scent trails they have so they can't find the tank again because ants rely on scent trails, not sight. Hopefully, that would mean they would die off slowly because no ants would be bringing outside support, food, the population would dwindle and die. That's best case scenario because that means no poison in my tank, ants will dwindle and die before she needs to go in there. In the ultimate worst option, because I can't put poison in the tank, that would fuck up everything. I would never be able to put her in there. There's no guarantee I could get that out. I did also try to drown out the ants. I turned up the heat to 80, which isn't a ton, but they by the heating I'm at mat, so it's going to heat up enough to compensate the whole tank to 80. And then I used my misting system and I let it go for very long. The plants needed deep watering once in a while. It was time for them, so I'm going to try to drown out the ants. But the final solution is a terrible one, is I have 3 mantis eggs that are fertile. Mantis nymphs will eat sugar ants. So, the final option, if push comes to shove, is kind of a war, which can go a few ways. Either the ants kill all of the mantises, except for Mary, because she wouldn't be in there, and I'm not going to put every egg in there. Why would I? That's terrible. The goal is for the eggs to go outside. That's the whole point. But they'd kill off a ton of ants, if not all of them. A lot of mantises would die, which is going to happen anyway because they're going to eat each other. And 50% of mantises die in the wild before reaching adulthood anyway. It's not like I'm going crazy here. This is just statistics, and it's sad, but and that would probably stop the ant infestation. It would either poison mantises and ants, or the mantises would win that. But then either way, I still have a ton of mantises. I need to then move to a new container or move outside. But I'm gonna get some shots of these ants now. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Again, it's 2:23 right now. Fucking bear with me. I might be wrong about all of these fucking things in my brain. In the morning, I might wake up and go, "That sounds fucking insane." So you can see in here, you can see some of the ants running back and forth down there. and it's fucking crazy. I wiped down the centrails, and yes, there's dirt here. I just did a ton of planting in here, but you can see them running through there. They're very hard to see, but you can. I tracked them this way by my little wood chip guy, and they were going down all of this side here, which you can see some now. But these ones are keep turning around before they get to the tank. I think I wiped the trails enough. If you get all the way to the bottom, there is some gel bait right here that they have been happily eating for the past half hour, and I don't know how they're getting into my house, is the issue. See how they're getting all lost here and kind of fucked up? Their colony is not in my house, it's not in the tank. This is the one I'm working on right now, too, but that has no ants. There's nothing in there. It's just covered in pollen right now. But see how they're not traveling here anymore? They were going across this line here. And there's an ant right there, but it just came through a different way, and it can't seem to get back into the enclosure with the other ones. So I don't think it's going to bring the poison into the enclosure. I think it's going to bring it back to the colony. I don't see ant mounds. I don't see anything inside of here that might indicate this pollen on everything. That might indicate an actual mound infestation, which would be a problem. That would be a rip apart the whole tank problem, but we're hoping we don't get to that. But I can't find where the ants are coming from. There's a hole down here in my wall. See how they have that? That's a baby, I think. But I don't know why they're bringing it out. I think, but I don't. They're not trailing here along the cover. They're not trailing along the closet door here. They're in none of the corners. So this hole has to lead maybe to my basement. But I think they're gonna bring all that poison back to their nest, and that would be fucking phenomenal for me. I love bugs. I love insects, but not when they fuck with the ones I own. Okay, it is the next day, and I don't see any ants, which leads me to two conclusions here. Ooh, there's one ant, but he's not inside. Fuck. It leads me to two conclusions. Either they're only coming in droves like that at night to steal away the food source, which would be, the isopods and the springtails and the decaying matter in the tank. Or they have a nest in there and they're using the tank as a base and going somewhere else in the house. But followed their trail, which went along this, around this, and then down this path here. And then we have the poison gel right in the hole they were coming in. Hopefully that will stop them. We're going to find out though. Now I'm going to clean everything down with vinegar now. And I'm going to water it down first. And that should stop the centriole permanently.